Welcome back. Now you may remember some time ago I told you that I had an itch that I really wanted to scratch, and this is it. A BW Benson pocket watch. I don't know why I've got this sudden urge to have one of these, but I just had. So what happened? Well, I was on eBay as usual, and this one came up, but it also came up with this one. So there was two of them on there, sold spares or repair. It said one the winder, the key wind was stuck and you couldn't wind it, it was seized, and the other one, it just kept winding and winding. So in my infinite wisdom, I thought, well, that's got to be something to do with the with the main wheel, you know, like the main barrel, the main spring. So anyway, I bought them, paid a fair amount for them, and they duly arrived. Now I'm just got to be careful that I get the right one. So let me have a look. Okay, so this one arrived and it said you couldn't wind it. Oh, let's turn it around so you can get a good look at it. Lovely watches these. I think that's why they're so popular. The Ludgate watch, best London make, my warranty to Her Majesty the Queen, Ludgate Hill, London. Warranty to the Queen, that would be Queen Victoria. If you see one and it says to the late Queen, that's obviously after she died. I don't know when she died, I can't remember now. Was never good at history. Anyway, that's not why you're here. So, with these, you put a little key in. So if you try and turn it this way to your right, which I guess would be anti-clockwise, nothing much happens. But lo and behold, turn it the right way, the watch will wind. And that's what the guy was doing. He was turning this one the wrong way. And I've had this running for a while now. Nice silver case. And it runs absolutely perfectly. So again, another little bargain. However, dun dun dun, I wasn't content. I opened this one up to have a look. And I don't know if you can make it out, because this is the same sort of watch, but can you see, if you look closely, that's really square, and this one is almost round. So someone has been using the wrong key to wind the watch, and they've messed up the actual sort of barrel, the barrel hub, I suppose you'd call it. Now, this was the key that we used on the other one, and as you can see, if we put it in, it can alter the hands. That's how you'll alter the hands on these from the inside, but it won't have anything to do with the winding mechanism. But I have a bunch of keys. I've got one here that is much smaller, and if you push it in, which isn't recommended, but hold it fairly tight, you can actually get a bit of wind on it, and 3 or 4 little winds like that, and it's up and running. So what are we going to do about it? I'll tell you what we're going to do. This is another one, the Ludgate Watch Co. Warranty to the Queen. Yeah, what a lovely looking watches these are. Again, solid silver. I don't know, I'm not really great at dating stuff, so if any of you out there are good at it, there's all that loveliness. So maybe you could date it for me. So those were the two watches, but not being content, oh no. I bought this one for parts. I thought, well, I'll need the bits. As you can see, same watch. I bought this one because I got carried away. I bought this one because I got a bit more carried away because it was a different one. This is what you would sort. These are key wind. These are just standard. Same with that one. I got carried away. Another key wind, another crown wind, and I bought that one, which again is a lever set. Crack, but I'm thinking, you know, sort of dial off of this onto this. Try and get it running. This one's a little bit different. It's signed a bit differently on the inside. Just there. So, enough of that. It's all very interesting, David. Thank you, you say. It's always a pleasure. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this one because it's the most, well, it's rotten dirty, as you can see, as always. But the winding square is nice and square. So it's time to take it apart. Now, remembering that I am an amateur and I haven't taken one of these apart before, this is my first delve inside. What we're going to do is we're just going to take off what we can. Oh, let's have a look. Okay, so around the outside there will be, you can't make it very well, but just there, there's a little pin sticks up, and that's your face pin. And on these early ones, as you can see there, later watches had a little screw, didn't they? So you could unscrew 3 or 4 around the outside of the face, and the face would come off, but not on these. On these little fellas got these pins, just like that. That one's a bit bent, but basically you should have 3 or 4 of these around the face, and you you pop them out and you're good to go getting the face off. Let's see if it pops off here. So that's it. Oh dear. Yeah, not had a good life, has it, by looks of that. Although remarkably the outside is not too bad. There's one down there somewhere in there, crack. But again, we're not really too interested in that bit. So set this off. Let's have a look. Now that, I don't know if you can make out. Can you see around there how dark it is, just in that little bit, sort of there? That's rusted solid. Rusty, rusty, rusty. And bizarrely, I wondered where that fell out of. I found that laying in the box when I just picked it up. So, I see, right. Again, normally these would have screws going downwards to screw this on. I don't know if you can make it out, just maybe make it out on that one. Maybe a bit bright. Let me see, I'll turn that light down a bit. So there a bit. What we can do. Yeah. There's a pin going through there. So let's narrow this seat a bit. Let's pop this off. looks real rusty. I don't really want to break it because obviously if I'm going to repair a few of these, I'm going to need the bits. So I wonder if that needs to come off. I bet it does because that comes through on that plate. So because this is coming through on this plate here, I bet you to get these two plates apart you need to separate it. So we're going to go in a bit spitefully to see just how tight that is. You can see that, but that's quite a lot of pressure. Oh dear, I don't want to break it. Oh, there you go. There you go. What a result. A little bit of pressure and to do the trick. Mind you, now I've just realised, although that one's come off quite nicely, the cannon pinion, that's proper rusted onto that. I don't know if I'm going to have such a lot of luck with that cannon pinion. In fact, if you look closely, you can see a big piece of the rust that's actually come off from around the cannon pinion. So what I'm going to do, remember I told you about your cheap and nasty old screwdrivers, good for levering. I didn't think I was going to have to do this, to be fair. I'm going to try to see if I can get underneath the cannon pinion, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know that much hope because there isn't much of a gap. Oh, I hate doing this. Something's going to break. I just got a nasty feeling that I'm actually going to break. Did you hear how much pressure there was on that though? It doesn't want to come out. It does not want to come off. I've got a tool for this, but it'll never come off with that tool. It's not going to come off. Okay, well that's a bit of a blow, but let's see if we do need to get it off, because it might be just my imagination, I don't know. It might actually come off without that coming apart, so let's have a look. We haven't got a balance wheel to worry about, so it's that's a plate screw. Let's see how much we can get apart. Let's see how much we can get apart. I'm thinking it should just pop off. How wrong would you be? So I've never taken one of these apart, so kind of a little bit in the dark. Oh. Tell you what, I'll take all the screws out. Say, why don't you take that screw out? That'll help. I thought it was a case screw because I hadn't looked carefully enough. Well, we're loose. Yeah. See, it's real tight because it's holding on that. Okay. Right then. we shall do is, I don't know, I don't want to break it. That little piece has just fallen out. I don't know where that goes. I'll end up crying later on. Yeah, I think these are screwed from underneath the plate. See the two screws in the corners there. In the corners. How can you have a corner in a circle? One there. One there. These are screwed from underneath. And I'm pretty sure trying to lever this off isn't going to do any good. But what have we got to lose? Pullers again. Don't try this at home, alright? Trust me, don't try this at home. Don't try it at home. No, that's not doing it any good at all. In fact, all it's done is loosen that up a bit, which is a result. Okay, we're going to have to soak it. So I shall soak it and I shall get it off and we shall return. Well, here we are back again. I'll show you some of the tools that we used to get the pinion off. Screwdriver, 2 hand pullers, and a hammer that looks absolutely huge. If I tell you just how tight that was on there, you wouldn't believe it. It really was. In fact, you can see possibly now just how rotten the whole thing was. You know, it was rotten. So we'll put that somewhere. Gave it a good soaking, and you can see all the garbage that came off of it while I was pushing and pulling and banging. It was horrid, but there you go. So that's it. That's off. Now will these plates come apart? No. That's really disappointing. That really is. That really is disappointing. That seems to be holding. I wonder if that's supposed to push out. Alright, close your eyes. Close your eyes, it won't be pretty. Excuse me. I think that's what was wrong as well. I think it was so rusted in there that, yeah. Yes. Can you see how it's pushed right up? That's where we had the problem. That was actually rusted right through, so that obviously goes through the pinion. This one is the one that does your hands. So now, can we get the bit we need? So how does that work? Oh, that can't be right. So, right, that's it. Hang on, there's got to be more to. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I suppose if that's. Hang on, just Just going to put my finger on the top and turn it over so I don't lose it. Oh, I get it. I got it. I've got it. I was looking at it and I was thinking, well, hang on a minute. Surely that can't... Let's see if we can get that to lay down flat. I'm thinking, surely that can't be right. Because if that's the pin, how does it engage with that? I was looking at it and I was getting all worried. And then I realised, if I turn it over, there's another wheel that engages there, and that's when you turn it, that's where it engages into. Hang on, let's get it so you can see it. Yeah, so that's where that other wheel would have gone. So that is really just a sort of standalone pinion that when you wind it, it actually winds onto that, and it just sits in there on a bit of a pillar, like that. Just like that. So how bizarre is that? Well, we now have got the bit that we needed. I think I'm going to have to be careful when I take the other one apart, because I'm not sure now which way up that went. What I can tell, hang on, there's a screw. Oh yeah, yeah. So that's all right. That's pretty cool. That's pretty easy to work out. Where the hole is, that has to go downwards so that you can put the other wheel on and put a pin through. So cool. So that is the bit we need. I don't know how many episodes of this there will be, because now I've got to strip that watch completely and rebuild it, so it might go on to more than one episode. That's all I can say.